this is probably where you went wrong with your clothing brand. I always could see out of the brands that I work with, they either went wrong because they wanted to be like all the clothing brands on TikTok, or they have these ideas of a cool clothing brand. And usually that clothing brand is for popular influencers or creators, and the clothing brand got basically rich off of that and didn't get rich off of actually creating consumer values and X, Y, and Z. So people think that they could go recreate that whole entire system when that system was literally built off of somebody knowing somebody in the industry, and it's gonna blow. It's literally just having like an influencer brand. It's just you have a Nepo baby friend, you have a Nepo friend, and then they have all these important people around them, and then their shit blows, right? You study brand visuals instead of consumer emotions. This is what y'all study. Y'all go on your phones, and when I tell y'all to study the consumer, who told you to go look at drops from brands? That's not looking at the consumer's emotion. That's that brand owner's drop, right? So now you're looking at a Macy's photo shoot with a Macy's catalog in your hand. That's the route y'all are taking. Instead, you have to pay attention to the consumer's emotions. Why are they digesting these photos? Why are they digesting this brand? What is the key to why this consumer wants this product? If you can't get that in your head, I don't know why you have a clothing brand. You have a nonprofit. And I say it all the time because that's what it is. People don't buy designs. People think that. I'm like, no one's buying your design. So what are they buying, Dave? They buy control. People are supposed to be creating a version of them that they can manage, edit, and protect. How are they managing it? With your insights. How do they edit it? With your products. How do they protect it? By keeping up with you, right? They have a controlled idea, a controlled character that they know they need you to keep up with. Most of the ideas, the way we are, is based on people and things around us. And to control it, we have to always go back to those ideas and those people around us to make sure that we stay intact, right? So if that's the case, your job as a brand owner is to help people control their micro ideals, the tiny versions of themselves that they have built to be safe, feel admired by everyone. What are those tiny versions? Clean girl. Clean girl is a huge thing. I fucking hate that shit. I don't like the clean girl shit. But people love it. And that is a version of a girl out there. The disciplined version, the peaceful version, the effortless version. They spend their lives trying to keep those fragments alive. Most people on this earth are literally the most boring, insufferable people you will ever fucking meet. How do they keep up with not showing that part of themselves? They're going to buy brands to put on their body to feel like the clean girl, to feel like the disciplined guy. That's why 75 hard is like a personality trait. It's not even like people walk around doing 75 hard right now. I can't do that. It's a fucking personality trait for people. That's why people do it. Oh, you're disciplined. A micro ideal. When they find your brand, they should feel like they finally located one of the versions of themselves, and the environment that you set your brand up in proves it. You're not selling a fucking hoodie. You're not selling a t-shirt. You're selling the feeling of being on track to becoming this idealized version of themselves. Confetti came down when I said that. It must have been really good. If you can't do that, I told y'all what you have. Like, it's so simple. Like, to be honest, creating a content strategy is not hard. Creating a consumer, that's hard. Creating a piece, not hard. Creating a consumer, finding these micro ideals, finding who they want to be, why they want to be that, what they're going through, that shit takes time. That's the hard part. That's the part where you have to sit and get dirty. And this is the part that everybody has trouble with because it's hard to fucking do. It's not hard to be creative. This is the entrepreneurs. This is the mind fuck side of everything. You know, there's always a mind fuck side, and people don't like to do that part. You want to make them feel intimidated by you a little bit, intimidated by your brand, intimidated by who you are as a brand altogether, because people like to feel that kind of tension when they're buying something. Like, this is hard. And when they buy it, they're like, nobody has this, or this is too cool for this person, this is too cool for that person. That's why people gatekeep shit. That's why the whole gatekeeping thing, people like doing it, because it's tension. It's that tension part. The tension is where the micro ideals are. The tension is where that consumer psyche is at. It's all right there in that tension, right? Your job is to close the gap. How do you close that tension to make them become the person that you want them to be? To make the transformation feel earned, every post, product, and experience becomes a step forward to a new identity. That's why I tell y'all, stop taking pictures with people posted up in a white background. It's fucking boring. Unless you have an idea in the background, fueling it, firing it, then I guess. But without that, it's boring. It's nothing. How are you going to make somebody buy something out of a Macy's catalog? I want to know how. You have to find the tension between your customer. The tension is where that conversation is at. The tension is where those questions are at. That's that shit, the spark is the tension, right? So people don't buy clothes, they buy control. It's the ability to manage how they're seeing it and who they believe they are. Every consumer carries micro ideals. Your job as a brand owner is to create micro ideals. Create a micro ideal with the character that you create for your brand. The micro ideal is also going to be shown through your content. You also need to be controlling the environment. Rhythm, tone, visual, temperature, create emotional climate. You have to push up against who they are. The tension. People don't talk about that. Where's the tension in your brand? Where's the micro ideals in your brand? You have to disrupt the customer, tension with the customer. How to make that spark happen? It's through a micro ideal. Create your own clean girl for your brand. Not an actual clean girl. Create that little bitty micro ideal that they can add on to themselves. That's what you're creating. Where's your clean girl? Where's your LA boy? Where's your Miami boy? That is how you push the consumer. Where's your opium guy? Where is that for your brand? If you don't have one, it's always going to be hard to create content, to have the content push, to have the content engage. It's low-key like 75 hard. You think about it. They're disciplined. I'm doing 75 hard right now. I can't do that. I'm doing 75 hard right now. I can't do that. I'm only saying that because it's 75 days left of the year and everybody says they're doing 75 hard today. But it's true. It becomes an ideal. It becomes a version of them for 75 days. A lot of people, when they buy from someone, because consumerism is, right now we're in the trend of consumerism. A lot of people are only going to buy something that educates them. We're going to enter that era where if they buy this product from you, you also have to educate them. You see this with topicals. The pink eye patches mask that everyone wears. She talks more about how she got funded for topicals than the actual product. Because people want to learn how she got topicals to be this big thing. That's what people are focused on. More than the actual product that they buy. They want your origin story. No one gives a fuck about the design or the product. What is the origin of this story? That's where this shit is turning to. And if everyone is thinking, all these clothing brand owners is surface leveled, who's going to buy from you? Even people who say, yeah, just run ads, just run ads, just run ads. Who the fuck are you? What's your story? What's the background? And people can say this is basic marketing. Okay, if it is, nobody know how to fucking do it the right way. I don't even understand why most of y'all are not on this app called, many of y'all are using Binnable. Binnable is an app that's literally Pinterest, and you basically create a vibe around a product. You could create a story around a product and put it on Binnable, and people buy it. All you do is link it to your store. I know none of y'all are using that. It makes no sense because y'all don't care about the consumer. You really don't. And everyone should just bow down to that. You don't care, and you need to learn how to care. All my shit, all Day Media is how the fuck do we find this consumer online? How do we find this consumer loop? Where's this consumer at? How do we put everything into this consumer? the people who actually, if you actually download Binnable and you create on there and do all that shit, DM me. I want to see what you're gonna do with it. But yeah, guys, day media sale still going on all the way to end October. I'm posting every day all the way to end October, except Saturday and Sunday I post on TikTok. Monday through Sunday I post on TikTok. Well, I'll try. I think I missed a couple of days, but micro ideals, tension, conversation, get into it.